Yeah.
3, 2, 1, roll. Okay.
Yeah.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Did you all enjoy last night?
Oh, yes.
What an amazing display and excitement. Just fantastic. I loved it. Thank you all the team, the SoftServ team. It was really something special. So really appreciate it. So this morning I've got Uyanga with us. You've met some of you have met Uyanga. So Uyanga is our senior developer at Customerware. Just to give you a little bit of background to Uyanga, quite an impressive young woman. She started life out on the wrong path to be an accountant, and became an accountant and worked for Ernst & Young for a while and hated it. So she decided that she wanted to do something different, so she taught herself web development. And she came to us as a potential employee 2.5 years ago, and we were pretty impressed with what she'd done and some of the work. But the most impressive thing was her attitude and the fact that she was able to motivate herself to completely change careers and paths and push forward and be successful. So I said, yeah, we'll give you a go, we'll try you out, see how you go, and we'll teach you where I am and teach you a bit of back-end stuff. And I've got to say that in the last 2.5 years, she's certainly flourished to the point now where she is our senior developer. So her skills with respect to awareim now, I can just give her a client specification, an app, she can put the whole thing, do all the back-end, front-end, the whole bit. And on top of that, she's very skilled at things like React and JavaScript and so forth. Okay? So the issue we had, we've got a client in the United States, and I'll just ask you to know when you do the recordings, this little bit with the screen you're going to take out, right? So I'm not going to show you a lot of detail, but you just get the gist of it, right? You just have to take it out. Anyway, so they have a cost-saving project or so forth. We built a whole app for that. And we put in this Flex Monster chart, or Flex Monster grid, that I showed at the Tampa conference, right? Uyanga's going to follow on from that from the demo. But the requirement was, if you remember last year, for those who were there, the charting in Flex Monster, the grid, the pivot in the grid is fantastic, but the charting is quite rudimentary. It's basic and it's not really very good. Right? So we looked at integrating high charts to it, which you can, and we did. And you can just put a pie chart on the grid and it's great. Okay? But we wanted to give this client a bit more flexibility. We wanted them to be able to dynamically change the chart on the fly as they wish. Show the chart, change the series on the chart, change the colours on the chart, blah, 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 and print it all out, just like they do in their normal reports. So I'm just going to give you a quick demo of what we finished up with that Uyanga did with the JavaScript in Flex Monster, and then she's going to show you all the details on how she did it and how she went about it. Okay? So just quickly on this is just a bit of sample data, and you'll remember that we have this thing in here called charts. So we can go to, say, a column chart here, and this is the rudimentary, basic inbuilt chart for Flex Monster. Okay? Oh, we can change that to a line chart, which doesn't really do much. So you can see straight away they're quite rudimentary. Okay? So we wanted something better than that. So we now did this. So all these buttons here on the top are the ones that Uyanga's done, and we can just turn it on, and we've got a chart here. Right. And we can configure this any way we want. We can put the chart at the top here, or we can say, no, we want it at the bottom. So now it's down here. Right. So we put it back up the top. This menu bar, we don't want to see this anymore, so we can turn that off, turn the filters off. So now we've just got data and a chart. We can change this chart, configure it. So we want to say, right, the series is forecast cumulative, so that's column spline, blah, 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 blah. This one's actual cumulative spline on secondary axis and so forth. And we can apply that, and we now see different types of charts. So I won't steal Uyanga's thunder and rain on her parade. I'll hand you over to her, and she can sort of go through some of the detail of what she did for this, but let me tell you, it is extraordinary. And the client just fell in love with it. Yeah. Okay, thank you. I'll hand you over to Uyanga.
you want. One attending this conference, and I'm really honored talking about my little task that I did. So I gave my presentation deep diving into FlexMonster with pie charts and data visualization within awareim. We have a lot of data visualization tools on the market, but we have to use it going out to the third party. What I wanted to highlight is that we can do it within awareim is one of the highlights that I wanted to bring. So by the end of this session, I would like to introduce FlexMonster's pivot table, that how it integrates with high charts dynamic charting. And before I wanted to start, that we are building web apps that storing data, inputting data into one big bucket, like our database. But we're not actually always showing it, visualizing it, analyzing it. So I think the purpose of this big data should be make it easier to everyone to understand. And we have to show it to our clients and also for the shareholders or someone who for decision makings. And as I have a financial background, it's really crucial in our market. So that's why I wanted you guys to implement this method in your web applications. So data visualization is really decision-making key, and we have seen the live demo, and let's go through our tools. And I have prepared a really detailed code walkthrough, but it might be really boring to some of you guys, so I have made it in a final section in my presentation, but I think I better go through small, and if you want to ask any questions, you guys can do it. Alright. Why FlexMonster and high charts? Well, FlexMonster is really powerful JavaScript pivot table that can do anything just like Excel, but also it is working within the awareim is one of the highlights. And also why we are using high charts is really easy to integrate with FlexMonster and also high charts. Well, awareim, of course, we are using one of the many powerful tools for web apps. Before I started using awareim, I was hardcode developer, React developer, and it took at least 1 year to hardcode any small web applications, and it's really mind-blowing for me since I started using awareim. So how to use FlexMonster in awareim. So we have FlexMonster's download page, and you guys can just download it and put it in your awareim folder. And after that, we just create FlexMonster pivots in our business space where we can put our HTML. To be honest, it's pure HTML JavaScript. And if you want to customize it, we just add some CSS. And so here we are putting static HTML in system settings. So let's go through our awareim here. So in administrator, we can see I put in a pivot static HTML that is system settings and FlexMonster script. And if we go to, so I prepared a live demo to give away for all of you. And if we go to settings, you can see here FlexMonster HTML. And it looks really long code, but I included CSS, HTML, and JavaScript in let me talk about the details of the HTML and how I made it. So the switches, for example, oh, it's not code. Switching, okay. So in system settings, I put a FlexMaster HTML attribute in here, and you can put anything actually. That's you don't have to update PSV every time. Just update the HTML and put it in here. So styling can be done by anyone, like that, by CSS, or you can also use Bootstrap if you want. And this HTML is actually really understandable for sure, and all the switch bodies, the toggle on and off buttons. And in here I called functions on every switch that can do their actions. Well, HTML is obviously, I think what I wanted to highlight in this project is that it's dynamic charting in here. Mark didn't show it that much, but I'm going to show you guys how it works for real. So I added sample data in here. As you can see, there is forecast value and actual value, and FlexMaster can configure your fields in here. So we have delta value here, and apply it. So we can see delta value here, and we want to configure the chart. Well, for me, I saw this project as an accountant, to be honest, as an end user. So what I wanted to let them use is they don't have to do anything beside awareim, beside this web app. So you can just put your chart title. This is title, and this is subtitle, and we have primary access title here, and here. And one of the amazing capabilities of this combining chart is it will show you how many series do you have. For example, we have forecast value, actual value, and delta value, and it's showing 3 series. So let's change this into delta value and one chart, and let's give them some color. So let's change the height of this chart. Right. Now let's try deleting delta value here and apply it. So we can see the 2 value, and it will just dynamically take only 2 series. So it's not static, like not just for one chart. And high charts, one advantage is you can just download the charts as a PNG, GPG, any form you want. And also, I think this is really crucial for reporting. Yep. And for high charts installation, I just wanted to remind you guys to update its source URL to start up HTML in an awareim folder, and that's it. That's how you use it. And to use it with FlexMaster, you just gotta add in the scripts. In the script, call the flex monster and high charts here. And rest is only configuration and function, JavaScript functions, and that's all. Yeah. If you guys have any questions, you guys can ask.
So, you can compare it to the same period on the charts. You can compare this period to the same period last year. Is that built in, or you have to do some kind of calculation? You know, like I want to compare this week's sales to last year's same week's sales.
I mean, if your data has that one, you don't have to manually do it. Like, let's just say in the fields we have year and year. So we have year and year, right? So we just can put it in your charts. Okay, now that year is showing up.
Could that be month? Could it be like week to week?
Yes, of course, if you have the data. Yes. This sample is small data, so I mean.
So the data's there, you can.
Yes, if you have data, it will just take your data into the chart, and you can connect it with your database, so it will just connect it.
This is simple. What is delta value?
Oh, delta value is the difference between forecast value and actual value.
Can you write calculations in the cells?
In here,
So all your measures and filters, right? On the measures, you can actually create a dynamic measure. So you could say the measure is forecast plus actual, for example, and we can use that to sort of any combination you want.
Yeah,
It's very, very, very flexible.
Thank you.
And you can do really good stuff with running totals as well, both vertically and horizontally, just by specifying it as a dynamic rule.
Cross tab, people get this.
Fabulous. So we actually use Flex Monster now both in the new app we've done in the States, and we use it extensively in the German Perl application, and do quite a number of different types of triggers that they use. Initially, a lot of people go out to BI and do all that sort of stuff, and there's value in that. But the way I see it is that you've got to then give someone direct access to the database, the first point. Second point, you've got to have a person who knows BI and be able to use it properly, so you've got a person involved. So while there's some things you can do in BI that you probably could never do in Aware, I get that, the basic functionality, or as good as needed functionality, if we can do it in this and avoid the need for the BI stuff, then all the better. And in fact, the client in the US prefers that. They can just do it quickly. And the nice thing about Flex Monster that I mentioned last year is you can set up all your data in the way that you want to look at it. But each time you come, you want to see the latest data, but in that format, you can set up the way you want it, and you can save that template, and you can have a whole library of all the different templates you want, and just pull up that template, and it's showing you that exact structure with the latest data in all the time. It's just wonderful and fast, right? So we'd be up to a couple of million records, I think, now, and of course, it's pretty good.
What is the cost?
Flex Monster, the version we use is, I think it's $970 a year. No, that's per customer. So, for example, we have a customer, we have our own license, and then our European client has a license, and the American client has a license, which is from year to year. It's just incredible.
No seat like
No, just in the application. It's a great tool, really good. So just on that, Nick Manolis, I spoke to him probably a couple of years ago now about Flex Monster. He found another tool that I think they finished up using, and I forget what it's called now, but here it is, that's pretty good as well. So there's a couple of, so we're stuck with Flex Monster. The support out of Flex Monster is fantastic. Tatiana is the woman who gives us the support, and they're always responsive, and if we have any questions, because the depth and capability in Flex Monster is vast. The documentation online and YouTube videos and lots of stuff is pretty good, but there's always some little thing that you come up against that you can't quite work out. Send her the details and they send back the answer. It's just true. It's been a real boon for our applications. Probably put it in. Any questions?
If you have a native chart from where I want to migrate this, how difficult is that process?
Well, with the Rehorum stuff, initially they said to us, oh, we want to have a chart, and I can show that to you. Hey, do you have a login for Rehorum? Let's go to the Rehorum admin. So it's always interesting, and as you all know, clients prefer visualisation rather than data. Right? So the more you can do that, the better. So our client, do you know what it is? Great. Let's check. Just do it. Give me 2 seconds. So we want to see some charts, we want to see a dashboard and that sort of stuff, right? So you've got to work out how we're going to do that. And as you all know, building charts from scratch is a laborious, painful task. So when we see this screen, you'll see some charts on here. So the client came up, this is 2 years ago, I think it was. They come up and said, oh, here's a list of all the things we want to see a chart of. And there's like 30 of them, right? Which means they had to sit down and then look and say, well, we're going to hard code 30 charts in here for the client to go. So I did one, and I thought, I'm not doing this anymore. So that's when I wrote the chart manager that I showed last year. So it lets you build charts pretty quickly and uses it as the string expression stuff to actually generate the data. So for all these charts, I built the whole 30 charts in a week. Right? All dynamically on here. All in awareim, so nothing else. And that's using just high charts, the high chart, but the generation of data was all in awareim, just using that chart manager. All those that came to the conference last year will have that if you want to go and look at it. So that's all very well and good, but when you've now got a grid like Flex Monster on the screen, you want to be able to chart that data, you're not going to do the same thing again. So that's why we actually went to this situation of trying to work out how we can give the customer as much flexibility as possible to do a chart straight out of Flex Monster. So that's where it came from. But they have another guy in the company here who still wants to be able to do BI stuff, but we can probably generate most of it anyway, right? But he gives him a job, you reckon? So, any other questions? Hand it back to you.
Lacks flexibility as a tool, whether it's our imagination that offsets the limits. Thank you.
Uyanga, very good. First of all, many congratulations and welcome to the club. We really need young blood like you, so our community needs people like you, so thank you very much.
Can we just add a little anecdote from last year?
To Tampa to present in Tampa. And you remember who were there, they presented online. So we had a big stint with the US Embassy in Uyanga, and we found out they were scamming everybody. So they actually put an interview date for 3 of them after the date they were supposed to fly. So then they get a text message about 2 weeks later saying, but if you want to bring your interview earlier, we can do it for $1,000 a head. I said, is that right? Okay. So anyway, so what happened is that we had a conference, right? Couldn't go. But they kept the interview date. Between the conference and the interview date, there's another guy who's complaining about the US Embassy on Facebook, right? So I said, I've got some stuff. And we found out the name of the person who was asking for the money, the bank account where the money was supposed to go, the whole email address, the whole lot, right? So we just went, boom, and put it all out on the internet, right? On Facebook. The whole place exploded, right? Fortunately enough, they kept their interview date, and the whole three of them got 10-year US visas. Surprise, surprise.